Welcome. I'm Jessie Peterson. This is the Lagniappe of Curiouser and Curiouser course. So if you have been following along in the Curiouser course, then you know what this is. This is a little bonus or a little something extra. But I thought I might also share this video or parts of it to give people a little sneak of what we've been doing in the Curiouser course. So Curiouser and Curiouser is Alice in Wonderland themed, and so far we've made some really fun pages. So if you've been playing along, get your pages and look at what you have accomplished. We did this fun page, we did this one, which I'm gonna still journal in, which I just love that butterfly closure, so fun. And this one all about the Red Queen, and then little flips, all kinds of fun things there. And we also did some printmaking and some journaling here. And all of this we did with techniques and prompts to guide us throughout. So these are little prompts that I created that you can download and print out yourself if you like having a physical copy of your prompts. If you're curious about Curious and Curiouser, you can find the supplies list in the course as an open lesson to just evaluate if you have these things or if you want to pick up anything new. So that's all there. And for my friends who've been doing this all along, are we ready to make one more thing together? We're going to make this tag. I love just making tags because they're just kind of a fun thing to make and add to your journal. Obviously, we have this tag here that we did, but I just thought it'd be fun to have one in here. And you can make a pocket for it where it slips out. You could have a fold out where it comes out like this, and it's a part of your journal that way, and do it double-sided. There's lots of options that you can do with tags, but this is what we're gonna make. So in order to make this tag, just like I'm making it, you'll need your collage paper, which is, how's the camera battery just hanging out there? I got a new setup, y'all. It's really exciting, but it's also why it's taking me a little bit to get Lagniappe, because we changed some things in our studio here. So the collage paper is, so fun. I had so much fun designing this. So we're going to use this page from the collage fodder of this guy who looked just like Mad Hatter, and I'm really excited about him. And I have another version of him that's smaller in here, and that was one thing I really was trying to keep in mind as I create collage paper is scale, because I have friends who like to work really tiny, and I have friends who like to work in a bigger journal, and it's just nice to, no matter what size journal you have, to vary the size. So on this page, you can see we have the Mad Hatter little smaller there. And here is an example of me using that guy in this little tiny journal. How cute is that? Oh my gosh, I love him. He's so cute in there. And so this is one of those things, if you're like, I'm going to do a journal page a day, but then you don't have a lot of time, you can still keep your commitment in a tiny little journal like this. And it's a nice little warm-up journal, or fits in your pocket, take it along with you. So small journals are fun too. Anyway, had a good time with that little guy. But we're going to use the big Mad Hatter today. So let's get that page out. And then I'll tell you what other supplies we need. So we're going to use black, and you could use the gouache, or if you have black gesso, you can totally use that. We're going to use bronze. There's just a little bit of shimmer. I'm trying to used to looking at the new monitor here. It's a little shimmer in that, and I thought it was just match the color of the brown tone of the photo, so I thought that was fun. And then we're going to use this ash green, pretty much straight out of the tube. It's a beautiful color just the way it is. And then we can do some lettering together with a paintbrush, and this is something that we already did on this page where we just got wonky and we just let it flow, right? Just got messy and silly with that. So this is not like highbrow, really nice looking lettering. This is just wonky because what we're doing is wonky, and Alice in Wonderland is fun like that. So you can test out different size brushes, which we'll do, play around with that aspect of it. But the first thing that I like to do to warm up to make a tag is just to put some gesso on there and create some texture. So I'm going to do that first. I'm just going to grab a spare paper just to keep my workspace clean. So I've got my paper. You can get a pack of these tags. Ranger has these, or you can order like a whole bunch of shipping tags and just have so many tags you can create with. They come in different sizes. I'm going to use this size, which is about the same height as my journal. This is a 6x8. I think that's what that size is. Yeah, so there's my tag. So let's get going on that. I think this is a fun opportunity to make a tag and swap it too. So if you have friends who've been doing this along with you, or you want to invite a friend to do it along with you, you can give them a tag and then they can join in the fun. So you can probably learn more about that in the Facebook group. All right, so I'm going to dispense some gesso here on my palette, and I have palette paper in my palette because I'm silly like that. You can do whatever you want. Dinner plate works great too, or even paper plate. I just thought I'm not going to use a lot of paint, and then I won't have to wash this, and I can keep using this palette paper until it's done. So I might want more than that though. Let's see. Can put it there, and then I may just put some directly on because I'm going to scrape it around. And I'm going to use a palette knife for that. Also use palette knife to use my Yes paste with. So all those things are things we want. Okay, so I just like getting gesso and moving it around to create some texture, and wherever the gesso is, it'll recede the paint a bit, and wherever it isn't, the paint will kind of soak in and be a darker value, which is fun. It's fun, right? So I'm going to put a lot more gesso down here because this is where I'm going to journal, and I kind of want it to hold that texture a little more. So here we go. It's so funny how my nervous system is just already better when I'm moving paint around. And we didn't do it, but I like to start out our creative sessions with a deep breath. So if you haven't taken a deep breath, let's do it. Yes, we did it. You're showing up, you're making art. It's good. It's good for everyone involved, right? Everyone benefits from me making art because I'm calmer and kinder and nicer once I've had a chance to just, you know, do the things in here. I love it. I mean, creative wellness is a real thing. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so fun. All right, here we go. So now that I got some gesso texture going on, and I kind of decided not to put as much up here because I want that to be darker and, you know, whatever. So let's see. Oh my goodness, you guys, I left my little dryer. Gotta grab that really fast. Okay, so, I mean, it's not totally necessary to have one of these crafted heated tools, but it sure does make things nice. So I'm gonna use that to dry this. I just needed a little extension cord to get it to be where I needed it. Bonus, it'll keep you warm if you're in a cold art studio. Because right now it's winter where I'm at, and it is a little cold in here, so this is going nice. And I like to lift the paper up so that the heat flows through the paper. You've been with me for a while, I say that all the time, but it is a true principle. All right, got our first layer. Good job. Next, let's just get some of this ash green. It's just such a pretty color. I love it. And just remember, acrylic gouache dries faster, so you don't need to dispense a ton, just what you think you're going to need. And I'm going to use my mop brush for this. You can use whatever brush you want. It's nothing crazy. So here we go. Get this on there. And it's going to recede on that. And we've done this texture in our pages, so if you jumped to this video before the other pages, you're going to get to do more of this if you like it. I sure like it. It's a lot of fun. And if you get more than you want on these gesso areas, you can wipe it away, which is really fun. I'm going to do that in just a second. And you can do that with a paper towel or with a baby wipe, whatever you got around. But yeah, it's awesome. See, then we get those little gems of texture like that. I just love this technique. It's just a lot of fun. Yeah, it's nice. Liking that. Liking it. Very nice. I'm just gonna do a little bit darker. up here. Just because I want it to be dark. And then wipe away where that gesso is, so I can enjoy that texture. All right, and we'll just hit it with some more drying. Yes, I like it. I like it. Okay, now I'm going to use this 1/2 inch brush. I like this brush. It's a Dina Wakley brush. It's just a nice size. I got paint all over me. It's a good time. It's a obvious that I'm having a good time. All right. So, and you can see this is about the width of that, and I just did some quick little dabs of black on there just because it was fun. So we can do that. I'm going to rinse my brush that I use that ash green with, just because I don't want it sitting in my thing, and I don't know that I'm going to use this brush again, but I have my soap nearby and I can do a little swash of soap on there just to keep anything from drying totally out until I get to wash it. I love that soap. I like having it right at my desk. Okay, now let's do some gouache. Acrylic gouache, which is different. It's different. Okay. Oh, and I like this brush because it's shorter, so it's stiffer, and you get just a cool mark with it. So I'm going to start just kind of going for it. And I've got a good amount of water in my brush, which I think is nice for this because it's not just like totally opaque, although I've got a good amount of paint on here too. So, you know, this is just kind of a fun accent. This isn't anything to stress about. Just go for it. And I know my Mad Hatter is going to be in there. So, I mean, you can just put in the dots or marks, whatever you want to call this, where it feels right. Some of them can be longer, some of them can be shorter. It's all good. I think I'm gonna want one like right in here and there. I just like how I have a little more paint on one side of my brush than the other. It's kind of giving me a nice mark. I like that. Yeah, okay, another one here. Like I said, I know that my Mad Hatter is going to be on top of this, but it's all right, because then there'll be some nice marks hanging around. That one probably won't show at all, but that's okay. I want that one to be a little darker right there. Yeah, so we got some marks. It's feeling good. You can wipe off some of this excess paint. Now, when I have another journal around, I like using the excess paint on another page. So since I got this little baby journal, I'm just going to put some of that on there. It'll be a start of a background. And that'll be cute. Cute little baby journal with some black on there. Okay, so I'll set that aside. But yeah, having an extra journal around to get that excess paint off is always nice. And I like to say the only wasted paint is the paint still in the tube. So just go for it. Use it. Do it for the process. You know, all the things. All the things. All right, we got some layers on there. We didn't think too hard about it. Having fun. Let's trim out our Mad Hatter so we can get an idea of placement on that. So I'm going to grab my cutting board and do green with the green. The green side's a little cleaner than the other side. And y'all, what did I do with that collage paper? Oh, it's over there. I put it over there. So here we go. You got that. But you could also make a tag with these other larger pictures as well. So if you're feeling the Mad Hatter, you can do that. If you're feeling something else, then do that. And if you have been following along and making stamps, you could use your stamp instead and use that and utilize that on the tag. I'd made this one and whoop, got my head in the shot here. And this Mad Hatter guy. So those are ideas. I'm going to use this because I just think this photo is so cute. So let's do it. Trimming them out. Helps if I wear my glasses and I can see a little better. Such a great thing, those glasses. Who knew I'd be so grateful for them when the time came for me to need them. Whole life without glasses. No, here we are. I'm going to use a ruler for this straight edge, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to cut this off anyway because I liked how I framed it around my quote, but just to keep it nice, the rest of my collage paper, I'm just going to cut it. Just cut the whole thing out on my collage paper, and then I'll have something smaller to work with here. And the Alice in Wonderland book is so full of so many great little wonky quotes. So if you have a copy of the book, I would say throw them through there and see if you can't find something really great. And because this video is going to be shared in different places, I think this is a good time while I'm cutting to talk about art journaling in general. I love it, obviously. This is one of my passions. And I like it because it gives me a chance to make art, but it's not like a stressful situation. Now, I do choose to make art in more stressful ways. I've shown my work in galleries and I've made art that I've sold and whatnot, but my art journaling practice is kind of sacred. It's like, I love it because I don't have to show it to anybody. And there's definitely many art journals pages that I have not shared with other folks. And that's the beauty of it, is because it's for you. You can make art and you can enjoy the process. And, you know, it's nice when the end product does look like something that you enjoy and that you don't mind sharing. But it doesn't always have to be. And that's the beauty of it. Oh, he's just so cool. I love this guy. Oh, we got him. He's hanging on by the ear over here. All right. Just such a fun image. I get a kick out of looking for images for our collage paper. It is a joy to do. All right. So let's see here. I got him like this. He's just so great. Now, for this one, I cut a little bit out and made it kind of like he was like part of his body was the thing, although I didn't like exaggerate that very much. So you can do that as well. So I think I'm going to wait to do that and just see where my quote is going to be before I decide that. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is a little rolly the wrong direction. So I'm going to see if I can't do this to get it to flatten out a little bit so it'll be a little bit easier to letter on. We're getting it. A little flatter. That's a little better. A little better. Just looking for my copy of Alice in Wonderland, but I don't know if I brought it over here. Anyway, it's like a vintage one. I have a couple of vintage ones. It was just so fun. It was a good excuse to buy vintage books that I just want because I want them. Okay. So anyway, I found this quote somewhere. I don't remember where, but I liked it. It was just kind of a fun, wonky thing. So, let's try doing some lettering with a paintbrush, which can be tricky, or can feel like it's tricky. It's really not. Okay, so I'm going to use this is around 6. We're just going to practice. If eye. And the trick here is just to keep getting paint on your brush because the paper soaks it up and it gets lighter. So that's what I can do with the round 6. Probably get a little smaller if I wanted, or you could go way smaller and use a 1. So let's just do that, see what that's like. Well, that's too much water. And there's a tiny little piece just hanging out there. It's gonna mess up my old deal. All right, that's better. All right. But it's just always good to just do a little warm up on this before you go for it. It's still there. Look, I'm just gonna give it a haircut because I know it's there. I can feel it. I got it. You ever give your brushes a haircut? Yeah, this one's feeling good. I like this size because I can write a little smaller. No, I'm not trying to be all fancy. Like I said, I like it to be wonky. I'm into that. So once you get a good feel for the paintbrush that you want to use, whether it's a round 6, you know, you can get really big. So, and if your quote that you choose isn't really long, then yeah, you can probably change the scale and go with a big guy like this. Or a nice in between is this round 2, and I have this in this brand of brush too. I don't know where to put it, but I got one. I got all the brushes. Okay, I didn't quite get all the water off of this one, so this gives you an idea. Yeah, this one might be a little easier to control if I had. So you pick your brush. I'm going with the 1, I think. I like that. Doing it. And then I'm just gonna go for it. Because if you mess it up, it's just wonkier, and that's okay. But I am gonna dispense a little bit more paint because I don't want my paint to dry up while I'm in the middle, and then I'm forcing it to. There, that's good. Out. And I kind of want to have a straightish line here. So, like at least on the left side. So you could always just take your paper, give yourself a little bit of a guide. It's like, okay, I want it to come in about right there. Then, you know, that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. Where'd my guy go so I can decide where I'm going to start. Yeah, right there. That sounds good. Doing it. Make that first mark. Whoa, I just threw him across the table and then he fell down, so I'm going to have to go get him in a minute. Sorry, Mad Hatter. I guess I can read this quote to you too. It says, if I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it wasn't, and contrary-wise, what it wouldn't be, and would be, it would. And you can write half of that, you can write all of it. It doesn't matter. It's just a silly quote. It's just fun. I mean, and if I tell myself I'm going to make it intentionally wonky, then it's okay. Like, I know my issue is that I get, whoops, get my head in the shot. This is why I need Robbie to be here so he can tell me. WULD would be. And, you know, I had to work around that Y, so I just made my L go that way. That's all right. Would be. Anyway, what I was saying is if I decide it's going to be wonky, then I take the stress out of being perfect. And I don't make art to be perfect, but my brain can think that sometimes it needs to be perfect, and then it takes the fun out of making art, and then I'll make art, and that's not the point. The point is to make art even if it sucks, because I feel better when I make art. Nonsense. NONSENSE. But I have to constantly remind myself of that because my brain wants to be like, well, that doesn't look very good. You shouldn't, this isn't something you need to spend your time on. This is not good. All the time it's like not good. And I just have to say, so what? So if you're like, oh man, that doesn't look like hers, or I don't like how this looks, just say no thanks, inner critic. I'm doing it anyway. So now I have, if I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't, what it wasn't. And contrary-wise, what it wouldn't be. What it wouldn't be. I think that's right. What? I keep running into those whys. Wouldn't. I might have got this quote wrong. I don't think I did, but this is wonky, so it's okay. Wouldn't be and wouldn't be. It would. Or I can leave it at that. What it wouldn't be. If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it wasn't. And contrary-wise, what it wouldn't be. It would. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm doing it. It would. I like it. It's so funny how when I letter it the second time, it's like neater because I'm on camera and I'm not just going for it. I mean, I am. It just comes out different. Then you can look at it and add. Oh, we have a little Christmas bells in the background. Darken any letters that you want. It's just the bells in town. So fun to hear them this time of year. I don't know if my mic is going to pick it up, but if you were like, why did she just say Christmas bells? And that's why I was just commenting on what I could hear, but that I'm not sure that you can hear. Okay. Oh, I lost my guy, so I gotta go grab him really fast. Okay, we got him. Not sure this is totally dry. Oh, it feels dry. Okay. Okay, and then I think I want to add a little bronze to the mix, just because that feels kind of stark. And then I think I probably will cut a little bit of his shirt out to kind of frame it once I get that on there. So let's do some bronze. Oh, it's such a pretty color. I love it. I'm just throw them on there so I get an idea of how I'm framing it. This is how I design things. This is how I do it. I think, I like that. Brush is a little dry. We get a little more water. It's a little bit on the edge on this side. That's all right. It's just enough to frame it and to just kind of give it another layer. Gonna put some over here. It looks really pretty when it's over top of the black because you can really see the shimmer, which I like. So, whoop, that was a lot. And it kind of changes the way the ash green reads too, which is nice. All right, let's see. I know I got wet paint on here. I know, but I kind of want a little bit more behind his shoulder there. Because this kind of also makes it feel a little like weathered. It's just a nice little finishing touch. But nothing is about precision with this. Just go for it. Just have fun. Maybe I want more on the side. Because I didn't center my quotes a little to the side. There we go. Oh, I like that. Because I want that background to be more readable because of the quote. I didn't like what it did, and because it was on gesso, I was able to wipe it right off. And that just, it's like the undo button. See if I need anywhere else. I think we're good. Just little touches here and there. It just gives it that shimmer that I like. So fun. All right. Well, I think I'm just gonna kind of come in there and then cut across. Well, yep. Look how like that just lines up. I'm gonna exaggerate that edge even more with just a little bit more of the bronze. So let's dry that. And we're almost done with our tag. Drying it from both sides, always a good thing. Can you see the shimmer as I'm moving it around? It's so pretty. Blowing some trash around, it's fine. Nice. Okay, and then we can glue this on and then do, like on this one, I had some little black sort of flecks of paint, so we can do that. Where is my, we're gonna do this. Clean my bronze off those brushes. This is a perfect brush for this round 6. And I'm going to get, I got a good amount of paint on my brush, but then I'm gonna get a good amount of water on there too, so it'll flick really nice. And my flick trick is to have my hand stable and then use my brush and use that as a way to flick, because it's more controlled. So get some down there. Just make sure you don't have anything that you didn't want paint drops on, because it goes lots of places, but this is more controlled somewhat. Turn it right back side up so I can see if I like that. Yeah, it's looking good. I like that. It's a little bit of, you know, just pizzazz, a little of the unexpected. That was a little bit much over there. I don't like that. I'm gonna just come back with that. There we go. All right, I think I did it. I don't want to overdo it. Unless you're having fun, and just do it. Just do the test. Nothing's coming off. All right, I think we got it. Now we can glue our guy on. And I got a little bit of paint flick on him, and that's okay, because now he just looks like he belongs with this. My yes paste. And what do I do with that palette knife that I used Jessa with? There it is. I'm just gonna grab a baby wipe and just, knock stuff over. I mean, are you really even creating? Are you really even creating if you haven't knocked something over or had to go pick something up off the floor? It's just part of it, right? All right, that's clean enough for some yes paste. Grab my spare paper here so I can see what I'm doing. And just a little bit goes a long way, but yes paste. Tags are just such a fun thing to make, because you don't have the stress of like, I'm going to ruin my journal with this page. Although I don't believe in having that stress either, because we could just paint over it. But you know, there's things that we do to trick our brain. And it's a quick, easy finish. And then you're like, hey, I just made something. And that was a short amount of time and it felt good. It's a good dopamine hit, you know, just a little quick finish. And I like doing decks of cards that way too. I did the affirmation class, and I feel like that was just a fun one because they were a quick finish and that felt good to make them. So I'm just lining him up so that he doesn't overlap this little lip on the tag, and curving around my quote like we did. And I didn't bring my ribbon over here, but you can finish it with ribbon if you want. You can, like I said, you can make a pocket with it. There's all kinds of things you can do. We made a tag together. We did it. And I can't wait to see what you make. There's a Facebook group that lots of people are sharing their work in, so you can share this over with Art Club with Jesse Peterson. And yeah, thanks so much for making this with me and joining in on this Lagniappe for Curiouser and Curiouser. And we'll see you next time.